Hey everyone, there is a very thin line between construction and manufacturing. But if you look at the construction business processes, they are very different overall from other businesses. That is probably the reason why construction industry requires accountants to go through a separate course and the specialized course for construction accounting. This is very applicable for the construction ERP systems, which is exactly what we are going to be talking about today. What are the top 10 construction ERP systems? Hey everyone, my name is Sam Gupta and I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent ERP and digital transformation consulting firm. Elevate IQ helps clients with ERP selection, contract negotiation, enterprise architecture, system architecture, business process re-engineering, ERP project recovery, and ERP implementation. Now let's go back to today's topic, which is going to be construction ERP systems. Before we reveal our list, we are going to be discussing the criteria that we have utilized to compile this list. We look at several factors. Number one is the market share. How large is the market share of the product in the construction space? How committed is the vendor for the construction space? What has been their acquisition strategy? Are they acquiring the products to augment this product, to supplement construction functionality, or are they acquiring for something else? What is the depth of the cloud native functionality? How modern is the product? How thorough is going to be the publicly available documentation? But most importantly, how complete is the product from ERP perspective? And a lot of you may not have heard of the CMiC product. It's relatively new. It's targeted for the small to medium size businesses, construction businesses. In case of CMiC, you are going to get far richer construction functionality out of the box. You may not require as many add-ons that you are probably going to require with some of the other construction-centric ERP system for the construction management functionality. But it's not going to be as superior overall in the financials and the accounting piece. It's going to have rich operational functionality, but it might not be as deep in the accounting and finance functionality. CMiC is probably smaller than your Viewpoint, which is another ERP system that we are going to be discussing. It's definitely smaller than Deltek. It's probably one of the smallest vendor in the construction ERP segment that ranks in the top 10 list. There are going to be other ERP vendors that are probably going to be smaller than this. For these reasons, CMiC ranks at number 10 on our list of top 10 construction ERP systems. Now, number 9 is the Viewpoint product. After its acquisition with Trimble, now they can offer far richer functionality out of the box for construction industry. It has some really large construction companies. And in case of construction, you are not going to have as much transaction volume as you are going to have in case of retail, distribution, manufacturing. So sometimes these smaller companies can accommodate very large construction companies just because they are not going to have as many transactions. But at the same time, they require far deeper multi-entity functionality because each of the project in case of construction is probably going to be a legal entity in itself. Not every company does it that way, depending upon how large your jobs are, how large your projects are. If you have very large projects, they are typically captured as separate legal entity. So multi-entity functionality becomes really critical. But overall, Viewpoint is positioned for the SMB space. It does have a deeper construction-centric functionality that you are going to require. For that, you probably don't need systems such as Procore, which is one of the top construction management software that is cloud native. It's not going to be ERP. That's the reason why it is not going to rank on our list. But most ERP systems are probably going to require that. In case of Viewpoint, you probably don't need. For these reasons, Viewpoint lands at number 9 on our list of top construction ERP systems. Now, number 8 on our list is the system called Unanet. And Unanet is targeted for the architectural and the engineering firms. If you look at the product is slightly more cloud native than your legacy counterpart, such as if you look at the demo of Viewpoint, some of these screens are still very legacy. In case of CMiC, it's not as cloud native as Unanet. But Unanet is not going to be as complete product overall from the large company perspective. It's not going to be as capable as some of the larger construction product for the multi-entity functionality. And that is probably the reason Unanet is also used in conjunction with some of the other larger accounting systems. For example, Unanet integrates with systems such as SAP, or if you have a choice, if you would like to use any other larger business systems, Unanet can integrate with those. But Unanet does have the very deep finance functionality if you would like to utilize the financials of Unanet. For these reasons, Unanet ranks at number 8 on our list of top construction ERP systems. The reason why Microsoft Dynamics F&O is on our list is because when you are large global public construction company, then typically you are going to have 10, 20, 30 entities. Then Microsoft F&O is probably going to make sense for you, because you are going to have far deeper localization and globalization requirements than the operational or the construction management functionality that you are going to require at the site level or at the facility level. But Microsoft F&O as such, it does not have any sort of construction specific functionality built as part of the product, but you'll be buying Microsoft F&O for the finance functionality, and most likely you'll be using the construction centric add-on. And we have some add-ons in the Microsoft F&O ecosystem that are really rich. And sometimes when you are looking at the demo, you might look at the demo of the add-on and you might not even realize, but then you are going to have vendor conflict. You are going to have code sitting in 2 different databases depending upon how the add-on is designed. You are probably going to have all the problems that you are going to get with an add-on. For these reasons, Microsoft Dynamics F&O ranks at number 7 on our list of top construction ERP systems. Now, SAP S/4HANA is a very similar product as Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O. It's designed for those larger global organizations, and if you are buying SAP S/4HANA, most likely you are buying for the deep project management, procurement functionality that you are going to require as part of your construction business. You might be buying it for the deep financial capabilities, not necessarily the construction management capabilities. For that, you might be using some of the products such as either Unanet or Procore as part of your construction management software along with your SAP S/4HANA. Now, SAP S/4HANA is slightly behind overall in its cloud capabilities, but the cloud capabilities are there for the financial module. For these reasons, SAP S/4HANA ranks at number 6 on our list of top construction ERP systems. number 5 on our list is Oracle ERP Cloud. Now, when you compare the Oracle product overall, it's very comparable to your Microsoft and SAP. Oracle ERP Cloud is slightly ahead overall in terms of cloud native operational capabilities. But for the most part, Oracle is ahead compared to the other products is because it has very deep construction centric operational functionality that is going to be provided as part of your suite. It has many different products such as Oracle Primavera. It can support many different scenarios, such as in the pre-construction phase when you are going to be doing your submittals. All of that can be supported as part of the Oracle core. It's already pre-integrated so that you don't have to waste time and money in integrating these products. It also has very deep payment capabilities, and payment is very tricky overall when you are managing all of these subcontractors. You are managing their invoices. The construction has very unique flavor for the payment as well. For these reasons, Oracle ERP Cloud ranks at number 5 on our list of top construction ERP systems. Now, number 4 on our list is going to be the product called Deltek. And Deltek is a very unique product overall. It's going to be similar to QAD in the hybrid manufacturing scenario. The reason for that is Deltek is probably the only product that compete in that upper mid-market space where it can work with very large organization, but it's going to have all the last mile functionality that a construction government contractor, you are going to have DACA compliance built as part of the product that is going to be provided as part of the suite. You are not going to have this deep construction functionality even in other competing products, even if they are positioned for the construction segment and they might have very large market share. So that is probably the reason Deltek has been able to win some of the larger logos such as AWS. And by the way, the product that they have is very cloud native, at least the new product. It looks really good. I think they have been able to upgrade their legacy code to slightly more cloud native UX. I don't know how well it has been migrated to the newer code base, but overall from the demos, it looks really good that they have been doing a lot of work in upgrading the product. But Deltek has many different products in portfolio, and not all of those products may be upgraded to cloud native. So make sure you are going to pay attention to which Deltek product you are buying. For these reasons, Deltek lands at number 4 on our list of top construction ERP software. And the reason why Sage 300 CRE software is at number 3 is because it has very large market share overall in the construction market. In the SMB space, Sage is not really committed to the product. They are not upgrading Sage 300 CRE product to cloud native. In fact, if you talk to Sage, they are probably going to point you to Sage Intacct first, and then the second choice, if your functionality that you're looking for may not be sufficient in the Sage Intacct, then they are going to redirect you to the Sage 300 CRE product, which is adopted by many different construction as well as the real estate firms. And most of the construction companies, they are probably going to use Procore just because Procore is just so good. But you are not going to have the accounting, the finance, the cost codes that Procore is going to require as part of your ERP functionality. So Sage 300 CRE product can supplement all of that. Also, let's say if Sage is going to announce that they are not going to continue with CRE product, since Sage has both of the products, CRE as well as your Sage Intacct, most likely they are going to have a migration path for Sage Intacct product, and then Sage Intacct is going to get much higher market share overall because of that leverage for Sage. For these reasons, Sage 300 CRE lands at number 3 on our list of top construction ERP software. Now, number 2 on our list is the product called Acumatica. Acumatica has the construction edition, which is very rich overall in the construction functionality. It also integrates with Procore. It's not going to have as rich the submittals, the pre-construction, the bidding management, the drawings, the functionality that you are going to find in your Procore system, and that you will find it's slightly more natural just because it's designed from the perspective of the estimation manager or the construction manager. The ERP will feel more from the perspective of the finance manager. The reason why Acumatica is number 2 is because Acumatica has not been clear overall about the ownership of the construction add-on. At this point of time, we don't have enough information whether Acumatica owns the construction code or it is owned by a VAR, even though Acumatica provides a lot of different software in the private label setting. So sometimes it could be very hard to find out whether it is private labeled product or it is really owned by Acumatica. Overall, Acumatica may have slightly larger market share than Sage Intacct in the construction market, and the reason for that is because Sage Intacct just started penetrating the construction market. But since Sage already has a much larger construction market as part of their overarching portfolio, most likely Sage Intacct is probably going to take over Acumatica. For these reasons, Acumatica lands at number 2 on our list of top construction ERP software. Now, number 1 on our list is Sage Intacct product. Now, Acumatica and Sage Intacct, they are fairly similar overall in terms of the cloud native capabilities. Acumatica is designed more for the product-centric industries. It's not really designed for service-centric industries. Sage Intacct is the product that is designed for service-centric industries. And construction is one of the industry that it tries to target from the product perspective. It also has very rich multi-entity functionality that none of the competing vendors in the cloud native category are going to have. For example, Acumatica or NetSuite, just because it's designed for those businesses where you are going to have 80 different entities as part of your construction projects. Each of the project is going to be one entity, and now you need to do far deeper analysis in those entities and find out where the cost is from the project management perspective. That requires far deeper analysis, and it needs to have native consolidation capabilities, native multi-entity capabilities that a construction company is going to require more from the perspective of the construction finance manager. That makes Sage Intacct very natural product for the construction industry, and Sage Intacct is also integrated with Procore product, and these two together, Procore and Sage Intacct, are the ideal combination as the construction ERP software. For these reasons, Sage Intacct lands at number 1 on our list of top construction ERP software. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you are going to check the link that we are going to include in the description. The link is going to have far more details about our rationale, why we selected these products. It's also going to give you a little bit more information about the criteria and how we selected these products. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, it's available on wbs.rocks, ROCKS. You can subscribe it on Google, Apple, and Spotify. And make sure you guys are also going to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.